Good evening, and welcome to Over the Rainbow. On behalf of the Dade County Bar Association and Dade Legal Aid, we are thrilled to have each and every one of you here in this beautiful theater.
Tonight, we pause to celebrate the jurists, the counselors, and the advocates who exemplify our profession. Over the course of tonight's show, we'll laugh, we'll cry, and we'll reflect on a moment that captures a part of time, on a tear for those who have lost us too soon on this planet. But we'll smile knowing that we each made a difference, representing a client whose voice would otherwise go unheard. Tonight, we celebrate our time together as a profession that is all the more than a mere trade.
Several months ago, Jordan and I sat down in a small restaurant in Miami Beach to design an award celebration that would be unlike any other bar event. We had no idea that what we began as an intimate gathering of friends would grow to the largest reception of its kind in the Southeast U.S. Our conversation grew to include 18 of the most experienced and celebrated attorneys in South Florida under the guise of our awards selection committee. Past presidents of the Florida Bar, founding members of law firms, and some of the greatest advocates to ever appear in our courtrooms gave up hundreds of collective hours to make tonight a sold-out success. And it is only fitting that these rock stars of the legal community will each take the stage to recognize tonight's award recipients.
If the heart of our Bar Association is the 5,100 members, then the soul is one of the most dedicated professionals that I've ever met. I am beyond honored to introduce someone who is more than a committed attorney. She's driven to find betterment in the lives of each and every one of her clients. She's an ultimate reflection of Robert Frost's poem, where he writes of the sweetest dream that labor ever knows. Please welcome to the stage the director of Dade Legal Aid and Put Something Back, Ms. Karen Josephsberg-Lattis.
Thank you for that amazing introduction, Jeffrey and Jordan. I never thought 23 years ago when I joined Dade Legal Aid and Put Something Back to coordinate a pro bono program in its infancy stages, Put Something Back, that I'd be here 23 years later before all of you tonight, now as the proud executive director for Legal Aid. I'm so privileged to work alongside so many dedicated attorneys at Dade Legal Aid and from our community. And without each and every one of you, we would not be able to serve the 7,000 clients that come through our doors each year. So thank you to each and every one of you for being here tonight, for your friendship, and for your support. Now it is my privilege to introduce you to a dance company that just received the highest national award for small dance team in the United States. Under the direction of Jerry Barreras, please help me welcome the fantastic Gulliver Prep Sundancers.
I need a glass of water. Boy, oh boy, it's good to know ya. I've been up all night, trying to get there rich. I've been working on my shit. Milk the whole game twice, gotta get it how I live. I've been working on my shit. Now get this work. Now get this work. Now get this work. Working on my shit.
Shake that thing like a donkey and go hard for it. You better work. You better swing from a pole like a monkey and go hard for it. You better work. Cause big girls get down on the floor and make it jiggle, 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 you know. Ain't no shame, it's the lame, but it
it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Thank you for that beautiful dance. To introduce our first award recipient, please welcome to the stage the 1970-1971 Florida Bar President, Mr. Burton Young. And past Cuban-American Bar President and Florida Bar Governor-elect, Mr. Roland Sanchez Medina of the SMGQ Law Group.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Right on cue. I wanted to thank Jordan and Jeff for allowing me to participate on the committee. It's been, frankly, a tremendous opportunity to meet all lawyers from across the community. Good evening. Chief Justice Earl Warren has defined the modern notion of the public servant. The 30th Governor of the State of California, the 14th Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, the chair of the commission to investigate President Kennedy's assassination, Justice Warren will always be associated with the landmark decisions establishing the rights of the accused in Miranda v. Arizona, the abolishing of racial segregation in public schools in Brown versus the Board of Education, and requirements to provide attorneys to indigent criminal defendants in Gideon v. Wainwright. It's nice always to hear these cases once again. And Jordan, by the way, wrote the scripts for everybody. That's how special he is. And the one man, one vote rules of apportionment of congressional districts in Reynolds v. Sims.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be anywhere. I want to thank Jordan and Jeff for asking me to do this. I promised to leave them in my will, but otherwise there was no other persuasion. The Earl Warren Award is to exemplify an individual who was committed with such passion in the discharge of his responsibilities as Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Our honoree tonight is basically, this is a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's an award that we're giving to somebody who served on the bench for over 18 years, who taught so many lawyers how to practice law, who worked at the University of Miami. He was so well trained that after graduation from law school there, he went to Harvard to get better trained. And then he practiced law. And he practiced with Dick Erstein and F. Lee Bailey. And he emerged as one of the great criminal defense lawyers in this county, if not the state. And then he went on the bench. And he worked assiduously for over 18 years. And he worked with such passion, such commitment, that now as he's getting ready to retire, that we all felt that we had to say thank you. And I want you to all join me in congratulating the recipient of the Earl Warren Justice Award, Ronald Resnick.
My rabbi. Thank you, Burton. Thank you all. I'm very honored to receive this award. It's like being honored 3 or 4 times. I'm honored to be on the stage with the other recipients that you're going to meet tonight. They're outstanding individuals, and just to be on the same stage with them is a real honor. I'm honored to be selected by this outstanding committee that recognized me, and I appreciate the fact that you have, and I really appreciate that. I am honored by the fact that you're all here tonight. That means a lot. And I'm honored that my wife showed up on time. I want to say, that's a big deal, by the way. Susie, thank you. You're lovely, you're intelligent, you're beautiful, and I love you.
Thank you, Roland and Burton, and congratulations, Judge Dresnick, and congratulations to Judge Dresnick's wife and his family on a very well-deserved honor. Hundreds of clients come to Legal Aid and walk through our doors every day, each year. Our hope is to be able to serve every one of them and ensure that a lack of financial resources never equates to a lack of counsel. From representing victims of human sex trafficking and child abuse to our latest venture law project that fosters the success of early-stage entrepreneurs, our staff of 36 legal professionals, including staff attorneys and paralegals and assistants and support staff, they each labor tirelessly in virtually every state and court in Miami-Dade County. But 1,000 words cannot describe the work that we do, and it would never be worth just one photograph. So please join me together as we just take a little look into the world of legal aid. We have a video.
Dream that you did to, oh why, oh me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Good evening. My name's Trish Redmond, and I have a very important role tonight. I'm going to introduce you to a family who came to legal aid when they needed immigration help. Their children were stranded between borders, and to the angel who stepped up to take on the representation. I want you to join me in thanking Myra Jolie for what she did for this family. And now Myra's going to tell you a little bit about the family.
Thank you very, very much. As an immigrant myself, I found that there are two types of immigrants. The ones that come through the big door and the ones that come through the hall. That's what it's called. Life took me to this area of the law, which is immigration. It was not just coincidence that I picked that area of the law. It's so dear to me, and it's so good to be so blessed with so many of you who open their doors just to somebody who's talking about immigration, somebody who doesn't really quite get, you guys didn't really maybe get what I was talking about because there was no accent at all when I was speaking. But at the end, thanks to Karen and thanks to the help of all of you, thanks to the help of a past president that I was dating at the time as my husband, we were able to open the doors for immigrants. These immigrants don't have a voice. Unless we try to get it out there, it will be impossible for them to get where they're supposed to go. It will be impossible for them to get the representation. It will be impossible for them to get one of you to represent and, you know, that fine area of law that you guys will be able to deliver to my people. And that's why I'm bringing them, because they want to thank you personally and to let you know that what you're doing is getting their families together. What you're doing is saving each one of them. What you're doing is making sure the children are protected, and this is what I'm bringing you. Thank you very much on behalf of the family, and the family is here to thank you personally. These are two children. They are ages 13 and 17. They came to the United States just trying to get here. Her mother was here. The mother was been here for 10 years. We're gonna make that. There is a system in the law that we can make them legal, make them part of the system, but legally. And that's what we're here for. These are the people who really are thankful for being in America. And as myself, I adopted this country, and it's the best decision that my parents did to bring me here. And they want to say something.
Agradecemos a todos los abogados que nos están ayudando, y gracias a usted que nos está apoyando, y solo eso.
Thank you. I would love to sing for everybody, but that will cost my marriage. So I pass it on to Karen.
So how y'all enjoying this program so far? We promised you it would be exciting. Have we kept our promise so far? Okay. You all have no idea what's coming next. All right. It's a good thing I can't see anybody in this room. It's great. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce to you two of Miami's top courtroom lawyers. Please welcome to the stage Boyce, Schiller and Flexner partner Jennifer Altman and Verplouf and Lumpkin partner Stephen Marino Jr.
Justice Louis Brandeis is widely considered one of the most influential jurists on the United States Supreme Court. He is the first Jewish man appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, and he's considered by his peers to be a crusader for social justice. In his opinion in Gilbert versus Minnesota, he articulated for us the ideas of freedom of speech. And his decision in Olmstead versus United States, he articulated the concepts that we enjoy today of, I tried to go the whole thing without my script and I didn't do it. I apologize. An individual's right to privacy. Thanks to Justice Brandeis' tireless efforts, we enjoy a freer society today.
It is a matter of great personal privilege not just not to follow Jordan's script, but to introduce to you Justice Brandeis winner, don't get up yet, Judge Leifman, Steve Leifman. He is a transformer, a reformer. He makes us all talk about something that everyone else wants to sweep under the rug. He has brought mental health and mental health issues not just to the forefront of our community, but to the forefront of our country. He has destigmatized and hopefully rehumanized how we treat people with mental health issues. I hope that I will not now be unfavorably compared to Kanye West, but I would ask everyone in the room to get on your feet and welcome a modern-day Gandhi, Judge Leifman, our Justice Brandeis winner.
My 11-year-old son is the actor, so I don't know how he can do this without seeing anyone. This is remarkably humbling. I want to congratulate all the other recipients. Just to be mentioned with them is a wonderful, wonderful honor for me. Franklin Roosevelt once said that a society should be judged by how well it takes care of the most vulnerable among us. And on that vein, I want to give something back in the legal the bar for the remarkable work that they do in helping so many people in our community. For me, the issue of mental health has become a remarkable passion. It started one morning when I was getting ready to go on the bench. I was approached by a couple through the public defender and the state attorney whose son was in jail on a case I was about to hear. They came into court, to my chambers, and they started to beg me to get their son help. It turned out that their son was the former head of psychiatry at Jackson Memorial Hospital. He had gone to Harvard, he had a late onset of schizophrenia, and was recycling through the criminal justice system as a homeless man now. I found there was nothing I could do for him. He had a full mental health breakdown in my courtroom. I basically had to release him back to the street and never heard from him again. None of us become judges to be part of that kind of problem, and I was in a position that I was actually able to try to do something about it. And so I want to also thank my remarkable colleagues who have supported me to help me do this. My family who's here, my wife Osi, my son Max, I thank them as well. And I thank the wonderful lawyers who are here that have supported our cause as well. Thank you.
Well, you don't just get 980 people to come into a theater like this. It takes a lot of talent. And to do that, I want to call to the stage to introduce our next act. And I want to, first of all, congratulate, of course, I want to thank Jennifer and Steve, and I want to congratulate Judge Leifman. But I want to welcome our associate producers for tonight's program of Over the Rainbow, Miss Jane Muir of the Gerstein and Muir firm, as well as Miss Andrea DeField of Verploef and Lumpkin.
I'm waiting for the music to end. Thank you, sound booth. 2 months ago, an appellate judge chambered in South Florida called Jordan Dresnick and Jeffrey Reiner inquiring about the possibility of contributing to Over the Rainbow with a dance performance. Jeffrey and Jordan kept the judge's identity in strict confidence since that time. So, on behalf of the Dade County Bar's Executive Committee, we are extremely delighted to welcome tonight's next guest, who is a surprise to all of us in attendance.
But in just a few short seconds, the curtains behind us and the lights above us will reveal the mystery that has apparently been raised in appellate courts from Palm Beach to Key West. May the record reflect that no matter how quick his or her moves may be this evening, there will be no reversible error asserted here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our surprise performer.
Let's hear another round of applause. Brilliant and talented. Thank you for the incredible performance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Florida International College of Law Dean and former United States Attorney Alex Acosta and Gilbert Squires, one of the foremost arbitrators and international litigators from the firm of Squires Benson.
Hello? Oh yeah, we can see you. So we have the opportunity to follow that amazing, amazing, amazing tango. Please, another round of applause for them. Alex and I have the opportunity today to honor someone in our community that follows the name of Sandra Day O'Connor's road to the High Court. But her road is best characterized by a series of firsts. After graduating from Stanford Law School, more than 40 law firms refused to interview her for a position as an attorney. Guess why? Exactly, because she was a woman. Amazing, outrageous, but that's something else. Justice O'Connor eventually found employment as a deputy county attorney in San Mateo, California, after she was forced to agree to work without pay and without an office, sharing space with a secretary. Not that sharing space with a secretary is bad, but what they did is to suggest that she was not good enough, and neither was the secretary. Anyway, you can take it many places if you want to. Within 2 decades, O'Connor's defining career, brilliance, and humility led her to appointment to the Arizona State Senate, and just 4 years later, she became the first woman to serve as its majority leader. The ensuing 6 years saw her win election as a Superior Court judge, appointment to the Arizona State Court of Appeals, and then become the first woman appointed to the United States Supreme Court in 1981. Yeah.
The Justice Sandra Day O'Connor Award is presented to a private practitioner for excellence in leadership and community enrichment. Like Justice O'Connor, today's award recipient is a trailblazer. Born in Overtown, this individual grew up constrained by Jim Crow laws. Yet today, he teaches others the injustice of those laws, and he teaches them how to be a lawyer as FIU's Director of Trial Advocacy. He was one of the first students of color to attend the University of Miami Law School. He was a trailblazer. He was Miami-Dade County's first African-American Assistant Public Defender. He was Miami-Dade County's first African-American Assistant County Attorney. To know this award recipient is to come face to face with the beacon of leadership and community enrichment. And if I can go off script, it's to come face to face with the man of honor, of goodness, and of greatness. A member of the University of Miami's Board of Trustees, a founding member of the Wilkie D. Ferguson Bar Association, an exemplar of humanitarianism, of passion, and of caring. I am honored to call this distinguished attorney, scholar, and professor a colleague, and more importantly, a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating and honoring the winner of the Sandra Justice Day O'Connor Award, Professor H.T. Smith.
I was born in a shotgun shack on the rough side of the railroad tracks in the toughest neighborhood in Miami, Overtown. I grew up on a street called Bucket of Blood, and it earned that name. For 52 years, my grandmother scrubbed floors and raised other people's children. My mother was a beautician. My father was a mailman. From kindergarten to 12th grade, I attended second-class segregated schools, segregated hand-me-down books, second-class facilities, and second-class equipment. When I had the opportunity to become the first person and my family to attend college, only historically black Florida A&M University opened the vaults of educational opportunity for me. Upon graduation, for the first time, my country said, HT, you can go to the front of the line. I was tired of being in the back. I found out that line was a beeline to Vietnam War. Both of my brothers had been to the war, and so every day for 400 days, at the ages of 22 and 23, I woke up every day believing that the day would be the day I would be killed. But I made it back and found out after I got back that the University of Miami was admitting its first class of black law students, and before I took the law school admission test, the University of Miami admitted me, and I will be forever grateful. With that strong legal educational foundation, for the past 41 years, I have been privileged to serve as a passionate advocate for the least, the last, the lost, the looked over, and the left out. And for me to go from then and there and that to here and now, I consider myself one of the luckiest men in Miami-Dade County. And one of the reasons I'm so lucky is because of my better half. Veronica, would you stand up? Everybody can't see you. And for everyone who received the award, I'm very privileged to have my name along with your names and to be recognized. And I take this recognition, I say first, thank you. And this is just another tangible example of what I believe with every fiber of my being, that life is good. Thank you.
She's all laid up in bed with a broken heart, while I'm drinking Jack all alone in my local bar. And we don't know how we got into this mad situation, only doing things out of frustration, trying to make it work, but man, these times are hard. She needs me now, but I can't seem to find the time. I got a new job now on the unemployment line, and we don't know how we got into this mess. It's a God's test. Someone help us, cause we're doing our best, trying to make it work, but man, these times are hard. But we're gonna stop by drinking on cheap bottles of wine, sit talking up all night, saying things we haven't for a while, yeah. We're smiling but we're close to tears, even after all these years. We just now got the feeling that we're meeting for the first time. She's in line at the door with her head held high. Well, I just lost my job but didn't lose my pride. And we both know how we're gonna make it work when it hurts. When you pick yourself up, you get kicked to the dirt. Trying to make it work, man, these times are hard. But we're gonna stop by drinking on cheap bottles of wine, sit talking up all night, saying things we haven't for a while. We're smiling but we're close to tears, even after all these years. We just now got the feeling that we're meeting for the first time. For the first time. Just now got the feeling that we're meeting for the first time. All these times are hard, yeah, they're making us crazy. Don't give up on
of you are having a great time. The Gulliver Prep Sundancers that you are watching won a national award as the best dance company in the United States for their group size. So we'd like to congratulate them for a job well done. And their leader, their teacher for the school for over a decade now, and I hope I'm saying this correct, is Jerry Barrera, and she's done a fine job with them. Thank you very much.
You can't see them, but they can hear you. I just want to let all of them know this has been incredible. They've been performing and practicing for a month just for us tonight. So, ladies, thank you very much. And by the way, they still have a little more to go, so. All right. Jeffrey and I want to take this moment now to thank some of the people who made tonight possible. The Dade County Bar staff, in particular, Alice Ramirez and Mary Iglesias, worked many late hours. They dreaded our phone calls. They're incredible people, and they worked so hard for this. Karen Jones, on behalf of the Inns, worked very hard to make sure that you all knew about this event, and we couldn't do this without them. I also want to thank the folks behind the scenes, Carlos on systems, Danny on audio, and Tony on sound. They've been doing a great job here in this beautiful theater. And of course, I want to thank Barbara Stein, who is the executive founding producing director of the Actors Playhouse. She has once again brought some of the best of New York theater and frankly, theater in the world, tonight to this theater. Not tonight, but you'll see over the course of this season. She's brought the hit off-Broadway rock opera Murder Ballad, which I actually saw at Union Square Theater in New York. It's a wonderful show. It's playing directly above us, and it's going to start in about 3 weeks. She's brought Terrence McNally's Tony Award-winning musical Ragtime, which stories the interconnected relations of 3 different families, 3 different immigrants to this country, and it's an emotional and moving musical that will take place here on this very stage. So I want to thank personally to Barbara on behalf of Dade Legal Aid and Dade County Bar and to the Actors Playhouse in the Miracle Theater. Thank you. I would now like to Thank you so much. I'd now like to introduce the president of the Dade County Bar Association, a fine trial lawyer, a partner at the firm of Russamano and Borello, a former federal law clerk. He's done everything. And I'd also like to introduce him as Mr. Herman Russamano Jr., and of course, the Dade County Bar Association president-elect and founding member of the Murray Law Firm with the University of Virginia graduate, Mr. Jason Murray.
Good evening. I'm honored and privileged to be the 98th president of Dade County Bar Association, which is the largest voluntary bar association in the state of Florida with over 5,000 members. And we are soon going to have our 100th year anniversary as a DCBA, and we're so proud of that as well. I want to thank Jordan Dresnick and Jeff Reiner, and Jordan's dream of being the Broadway producer has certainly come true this evening. I also want to thank all of you that are here. I want to thank all of your law firms who have sponsored. I want to thank you for supporting, and I want to congratulate all the award recipients this evening. It's truly a deserved honor for each and every one of you, and we're glad to be here. And this is our first of this. We hope to do this for years to come, starting with Jason's year next year. I want to let you know that I want you to please come to all of our events. We have monthly luncheons. Our next luncheon is going to be the Legends of Arbitration, again, produced by Jordan Dresnick. And our big event that we have every year is the Bench and Bar, which has over 1,000 lawyers and judges and participants, and again, produced by Jordan Dresnick. So on behalf of the DCBA, I cannot thank you enough for being here this evening. It's truly very special to all of us.
Thank you, Herman, and thanks to everyone who's here tonight. You all look fabulous from up here. Now, on a serious note, we've come to that portion of our program where we pause and we take time to reflect and remember those wonderful friends and colleagues and attorneys who've left us far too soon over this past year. These are individuals who, they were very accomplished. They were exceptional lawyers, exceptional attorneys whose time on this earth was far too short. These attorneys made us laugh, they made us cry. Their legacy defies all imagination, and they have left a lasting legacy with us. So at this time, we just want to take a moment to just remember them and thank them for the memories.
I pray you'll be alright and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your light
nel cuore resterà
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go out each night,
l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è
When shadows fill our day,
lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe.
sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza, ognuno di
To introduce Florida Bar Governor Leslie Lott, a founding member of Lott and Fisher, as well as 2009 to 2010 Dade County Bar President Stephen Beffra, a partner at the firm of Cole, Scott, and Cassane.
Justice Joseph Story's contributions on the United States Supreme Court continue to affect us today, some 200 years after his appointment. Justice Story's wisdom and his dedication to the Constitution helped shape early American jurisprudence. He wrote the opinion of the court in the case of Martin v. Hunter's lessee, establishing the supremacy of the court in matters of constitutional law. He also wrote the opinion of the court in the Amistad case, ruling that the men of the Amistad were not criminals nor slaves, but free men who had been unlawfully kidnapped and forcibly and wrongfully taken aboard the ship. He was a scholar, a prolific writer. He was a chaired professor of Harvard Law, and he worked to assure the power of the Constitution. It would not suit the public purpose, he said, in framing this great charter of our liberties to provide minute specifications of its powers.
Tonight's Judge Story recipient is a very prominent woman in our society here in South Florida. And if you asked her about what her greatest contribution might be, it wouldn't be, perhaps, being co-president of one of the world's leading law firms. It might not be representing women, breaking glass ceilings that haven't been broken before. It might not be a woman who chaired the United Way as a Board of Trustees vice chair at the University of Miami, or graduated at the top of her class at the University of Miami School of Law. She might tell you that her most important work that really made a difference was abolishing, through work like Justice Story, through breaking a 20-year ban on gay adoptions in Florida. She led that fight. Our recipient tonight works behind the scenes. You might think of her as a successful professional lawyer and making a lot of money and working at a big firm. But Hillary Bass has worked countless pro bono hours for a number of causes. And it's my privilege to welcome to the stage another University of Miami law graduate, and this orange is for UM, okay? Might think it was Gators, but no. UM, Hillary. Let's hear it for Hillary Bass.
Thank you so much to the Dade County Bar and the members of the award committee. I am so humbled to be among this incredible array of recipients you have tonight. I think all of us who do pro bono work recognize that it's a constant reminder of why we became lawyers. Because for the most part, we're championing causes that we really believe in. And we're helping clients who, but for our assistance, would probably not be able to get their problems solved. But specifically with reference to the Gill case, there was a wonderful team at Greenberg Traurig who worked with me on this case, Rick Gonzalez and Elliot Shirker being the other two leads on this case. And we did it and committed to it because we really believed it was an unjust statute, and that after 20 years, it was time. So thank you very much. Appreciate this award.
Thank you, Leslie, Steve, and congratulations again, Hillary. To present our next award, I'd like to introduce the 1997 to 1998 Florida Bar President and one of the finest trial lawyers in the business, Mr. Edward Blumberg, and a legend of the courtroom and co-founder of the powerhouse firm Stearns Weaver Miller, Mr. Gene Stearns, as well as one of Yale Law School's top graduates and a distinguished education and labor law practitioner, Miss Bacardi Jackson.
Good evening, everyone. I threw away the script for two reasons. First, Jordan has already said to you what he asked me to say to you again, and although the lawyer's creed is never to say anything just once, I think perhaps that we will take a slightly different tack. There's a sign out front that talks about a project important to all of us, which says that we honor the past by preparing for the future. And what 18 lawyers in this town did, selected by the bar to identify people to be honored, was not just to identify the people who are being identified tonight and justly rewarded tonight, but 93 other people who I can guarantee you sometime in the years to come will be similarly recognized because they are preparing for the future. Because it's always nice to look back from time to time, but what we learned through this process is looking back should inspire us all to look forward. And that's why I'm so proud of the people in this room who from time to time we can all get together and even occasionally agree on things. And what we can agree upon is the future is ours if we take it and if we do it and we care about others. And I think the people in this room exemplify those ideals. And it's a pleasure to be here with the folks who are being honored. I must say H.T. Smith and I started at about the same time, and I think I'm more spry than he is. What do you think? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Abraham Lincoln, one of America's greatest heroes, whose name conjures thoughts of humble beginnings, extraordinary tenacity, and remarkable achievements. A self-educated lawyer from Illinois, who of course rose to take on the nation's highest office and become our 16th president. President Lincoln's legacy also invokes principles of courage, strength, resolve, and compassion. President Lincoln, a moderate from a swing state, took the presidency at a time of great political and moral divide in our nation. Yet, through his wit and intellect, his distinct common touch, and an oratorical style that is still emulated 150 years later, he was able to change the course of our nation. Tonight, we remember the virtues of a true American treasure.
Well, good evening. Not so long ago, our next recipient decided that he wanted to be a member of the Judicial Qualifications Commission, and that's the group that investigates allegations of misconduct amongst judges. That was a natural thing for him to do this because he'd been a prosecutor, he'd served as a county court judge and a circuit court judge, and it should have been an easy thing. But the Good Old Boy Network in the state of Florida didn't like his orientation, and so they decided they were going to make it tough on him. And they said, you better drop out of this because we're going to embarrass you. But our honoree was raised to stand up to bullies and to fight bigots and prejudice. And so sometimes you just have to ride out and meet them head on, and that's what he did. And it was a fierce battle, and when the smoke dissipated, our honoree, David Harris Young, was victorious. And you know, David Young went on for many years to serve in a distinguished manner on the Judicial Nomination Commission. And now it's our great honor to welcome up the Abraham Lincoln Award winner, David Harris Young.
Thank you very much. You know, this really is the first award I've ever received that I could talk about publicly. And when I got the call that I won this award, and then when Ed told me that was over the rainbow, and I said, well, of course I won the award. It's over the rainbow. I mean, who else? Yes, they're distinguished honorees, but who else knows every word to that show? Who knows every word that Judy Garland ever said? But David Young. Makes sense to me, it really does. And in thinking about it, I want to click my red ruby shoes that I'm not wearing tonight because Scott wouldn't let me wear them. That there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. And it is from the home that I've been blessed to do what I do, to have the confidence to do what I do. My mother's looking down tonight smiling. She's saying, I did good. Mom, you did. But you didn't do it alone. I have an incredible father. Some of you may have heard of Burton Young. You can give him applause, please. My father always led by example, whether it was in the courtroom, whether it was at home, whether it was for the community. You have to give of yourself. Dad, I love you, I am proud of you, and for 103, you look absolutely fabulous. And he's from Sri Lanka, don't let him tell you anything else. With me, as part of my home, is the most incredible, beautiful, talented sister that a person could ever have, my sister Francie, who's with us today. The matriarch of my family. Now, if you haven't met my Aunt Shirley, you need to meet her because she's 92 years old, and she's just one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. My Aunt Shirley and my father's significant other, Sonny. But over the rainbow, isn't that interesting? Supreme Court, are you listening? Over the rainbow. I am blessed, again, to be able to come home every night to share my life with someone that I love, someone that I respect, someone who embodies the same values that I have. Someone who, like when I took on the JQC, Judge Scott Bernstein took on the good old boys and won again to be chair-elected at the Circuit Judges Conference. That is an amazing accomplishment. And I've got to tell you, it was not easy. And when you talk about and you think about all the obstacles that have overcome, that's why I am proud to be, one day will be his husband, if it ever comes to that. We hope it does very, very shortly. I want to end with a quote. And Hector Lombana, it's not going to be the whole Gettysburg Address, I promise you. The quote is from Abraham Lincoln, and it really embodies what I'm all about. It often requires more courage to dare to do right than fear to do wrong. And I got to tell you, Dade County Bar, I've got to tell you, Legal Aid, you have made this community as great as it is, and may it be another 98 years, because your work is invaluable to all of us who love and embrace the practice of law. Thank you, and I'm humbled for this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gulliver Prep Sundancers' final performance. Thank you.
I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottle whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow. What do you say? When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I got my ticket for the long way round, the one with the prettiest of views. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got sights to give you shivers, but it sure would be prettier with you. When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk, you're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair, you're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're sure gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk, you're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Is not the best dance team in Miami or the state. That is the best dance team in the country. They won for Best Small Dance Team nationally just a few months ago, and we are so delighted here at the Dade County Bar Association and Dade Legal Aid to have them. So one more time for that wonderful, talented team. And of course, Jerry, who's trained countless people, have gone on to Broadway. So Jerry, thank you very much for that. To introduce our next award recipient, please welcome to the stage 1992 to 1993 Florida Bar President, Greenberg Traurig shareholder, Mr. Alan Diamond, as well as 2010 to 2011 Dade County Bar President, current Florida Bar Governor, and Boyce Schiller and Flexner partner, Mr. Stephen Davis.
Justice Thurgood Marshall is one of the most iconic names in the United States Supreme Court history. When he joined the world in 1908, the world was a very, very different place. He became a lawyer. He became an advocate for civil rights. He was one of the lawyers who handled the Brown versus Board of Education case. He became Solicitor General of the United States. In 1967, became the first African-American Supreme Court Justice. But that's not what he's about. What he's about is someone who came here in a world that was not equal for everyone and fought to make everyone have equal rights. And he didn't fight just for rights for African Americans, but the poor and the people who had no help.
The recipient of the Thurgood Marshall Award is a gentleman who Thurgood Marshall would have been very proud of. He's someone who has followed in the tradition that Thurgood Marshall argued for. He's a man who grew up in segregated St. Louis, not far from Ferguson. He's come a long way from Ferguson and St. Louis. He's come to this community and established an incredible reputation as a bankruptcy lawyer for his brilliance, for his thoughtfulness, for his integrity, for his ability to protect his clients in very difficult situations. But that's not the reason we honor this gentleman tonight. The reason we are so proud to award the Thurgood Marshall Award to him is that he has stood for every cause and been on the right side of every issue for years and years, giving back to this community far more than the community could ever give him. This gentleman has been responsible for what is singularly a monumental project, the Minority Mentor Program, which has brought literally hundreds of people together over many, many years to support and help and bring into our legal community as much diversity as our community can welcome. He has gone out of his way on issue after issue to help bridge the gap that exists between the people who don't have easy access to our community and those people, those lawyers in our community who can provide that access. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to a very modest man who said, "Don't do a lot of fluff about me," Mr. John Kosak.
Wow. I did grow up outside of Ferguson, and watching the Ferguson burn this summer brought back a lot of memories. My friends H.T. and Gilbert, Judge Bagley, Judge Graham, they wouldn't have not been welcomed in Granite City, Illinois. At best, they would have been called colored boys. That was a good term back then. David Young, Scott, you'd have been beaten up. You'd have been disrespected. Judge Leaflin, your people that you advocate for would never have been understood. It was only 50 years ago or so when the Civil Rights Act was enacted, and it wasn't taken easily in Granite City, Illinois. To be honored, and even in the same breath as the man who advocated for Brown versus education, Thurgood Marshall, is very, very, very humbling. And I'll be brief. I want to thank my wife, who's always said, if that's what you want to do it. For my partners from all my career, Harley and Chuck, who said, you're a nut, but do it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Growing up in an environment like that where you feel like an alien, and I wish I was, all I can do is say thank you. Maybe I'm a nut, but it's been my journey, and thank you for joining it.
One of the great joys of working with the Dade County Bar Association is you get to work with tremendously wonderful, gifted, and talented people. I'd like to reintroduce again to all of you someone that exemplifies the presidents of the Dade County Bar Association, and he's doing an excellent job. Once again, Herman Russomano III.
Jeff, it's my honor to be part of this group. There, as you may have seen a few emails from me and others, there's a courthouse issue that we're dealing with right now in Miami. The DCBA, I as their seat, are honored to be part of that small group of committee that is spearheading it. And two people that are going to be addressing it in front of you today, I want to introduce Vivian De La Cuevas and Joe Sirota.
Good evening. First of all, I want to thank the DCBA for letting Joe and myself be lawyers that are here to talk about what affects us all. They squeezed us in, so thank you. This has been an amazing program. We are here today to talk about the referendum, that we will be on the ballots this coming election. What is the referendum about? Well, it's about the only opportunity we have as lawyers to fix the problem that we are all facing. The problem is our courthouse. Let me give you a few facts of the current conditions of our courthouse while you look at a few of these pictures. This is our problem. The courthouse was built to serve 7 judges. Today, our 11th Circuit judicial system has 123 judges, of which 41 work in this courthouse. The recent inspection done in January of this year revealed that significant corrosion in the support columns and foundations. 132 of the 144 columns are over 50% corroded. The plumbing, electrical has not been updated, and most of the ACs have not been updated since installed in the 1950s. Water intrusions, if I can get it to move, water intrusions have caused mold and more than 4 floors to be closed due to the potential health conditions. We have overgrown our courthouse. 7 floors, we only have 7 floors with restrooms. 4 floors have been shut down due to its conditions, and over 1 million people enter this courthouse today. I know that I was surprised when I looked at these pictures, so I'm sure some of you are. Sorry, judges. What's our plan? The plan is to pass this referendum, which will increase real estate taxes and cause a funding source for development of a new courthouse. The county, which is the landlord, has identified 2 different county-owned lands where the courthouse can be developed. The referendum will be $25 million to fund the emergency repairs. We will continue to use our courthouse for about 4 to 5 years until the new courthouse is completed. And for those of you that are being asked, what does that do to that budget? Well, to the individuals that are going to ask you, why do we pass this referendum? It's about $8 per $100,000 over a course of 20 to 30 years for about $393 million to $25 million to repair our courthouse and the rest to build a new courthouse. So this is a courthouse. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a transactional lawyer, but I still believe in this cause, and that's why it's so important to be here. This is a courthouse on how it should look like, right? No columns, no water. Well, this is a new courthouse built in the state of Florida along with many others. The question is not, are we going to build the Taj Mahal? We're not going to. We're just going to have a home for us to conduct business, for our judges to be respected with nice areas, for juries to be in the nice jury room without a big column. We just need working conditions. Joe?
So you've seen the problem. You've seen that we have a plan, so why am I here? I'm here for the ask, as they say. And this is not the first time that I've asked this legal community to help when we've needed it, and you've never let me down. The fact is that nobody doubts the problem that we have. Nobody doubts that we need a new courthouse. All we need is your help right now, and of course the voters to approve the referendum on November 4th. So in order to make our case to the voters, we need all of you to be a part of this effort. Now, we have a first-rate professional team advising us regarding this campaign, and we have a well-designed campaign to make it successful. Now, I can say from experience that this legal community is really amazing. While we are very diverse, we know how to join forces when the need arises. In fact, we all support campaigns to fund legal services. That's why we're all here today. Last year, when we had a problem with the independence of the judiciary, we all banded together and we were able to overcome that. I can say again from experience, when we needed your help to restore the lobby of this courthouse or to create courtroom 6-1, you all banded together and you did that as well. So now we need to come together one more time. Passing this referendum will pay, as Vivian said, for the emergency repairs to the existing structure, which we will need under any circumstance for another 3 or 4 years, even if this referendum gets passed and a new courthouse is built. We have a budget for this effort that we have got to fund. We have already had tremendous support from the community, but we are not here yet. Now, when you came in, you were given cards, and we ask you to take those cards right now, to fill out those cards. I know many of you here have already helped us, but those who have not, fill out those cards, or go onto our website, log on, sign up, and give. And we really appreciate your being here, considering this, and we thank everybody here for allowing Vivian and me to stand up here and ask for your help. Thank you very much.
To present our Lifetime Achievement Award, please join me in welcoming to the stage 1999 to 2000 Florida Bar President and Carlton Fields Jordan Burke shareholder, Miss Edith Osmond, and one of the finest mediators and appellate attorneys in Miami, a partner at Dresnick, Rodriguez, and Perry, Miss Pamela Perry.
Good evening. Introducing our Lifetime Achievement Award winner is a bit like introducing Abe Lincoln, Atticus Finch, LeBron James, or Barbara Streisand. There is absolutely no one to compare him with. He is truly in a class of one. William Marcellin Houvler was born in Paris, France, and came to this country when he was only 18 months old. A standout basketball player in high school, he went to college on an athletic scholarship before serving for 4 years as a lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He then went on to the Harvard Law School, where he served as co-president of the class and was affectionately and accurately, as we understand it, known as the hunk. He also sat on a bench totally unrelated to the law, the piano bench, where he played boogie-woogie tunes, including that time-honored classic, Big Fat Mama with Meat on Her Bones. After leaving the Northeast, Judge Houvler moved to Miami and went on to become the region's most prominent professional malpractice defense lawyer, representing attorneys, architects, accountants, and engineers, and scaring the heck out of the plaintiff's lawyers unfortunate enough to be opposite him. But after winning trial after trial, year after year, Judge Houvler's lifelong commitment to giving back beckoned, and he was appointed to the district court, where he quickly developed a reputation for patience, scholarship, compassion, and most of all, an uncompromising sense of fairness. In short order, he literally became a legend in his own time.
During his nearly 40 years on the bench, the judge presided over the area's most prominent cases, including the Elian Gonzalez case, the Longshoreman Union case, one of the longest trials to ever occur in this district, the prison overcrowding cases, the landmark Everglades case, and, of course, there was the prosecution of Panamanian General Manuel Noriega. Unbeknownst to most, during that trial, Judge Houvler had a coronary bypass and amazingly, rather than declare a mistrial or ask one of his colleagues to come in and assist him, he cut short his own convalescence time and finished the trial personally. At the time, Judge Houvler explained why he did that. He said the American system of justice was on display, and it was a test of our system. The judge's commitment to justice and the appearance of justice was no surprise. In a law review article that he wrote entitled Ethics and the Prosecutor, the judge characterized the quest for fairness and justice as a sacred mission, a mission that characterized his service every moment of every day. Indeed, following his prolonged trial and conviction, defendant Noriega told the judge that the one shining light through this legal nightmare has been Your Honor. You have acted as honest and fair as anyone could have hoped for. If that is not a mission accomplished, we cannot imagine what is.
Words cannot do justice to this jurist, this extraordinary man who is truly in a class of one. But there are two simple words that we say to you tonight, Judge Houvler, words that we know reflect the feelings of the hundreds of people in this room and the thousands of lives you have touched. Thank you. Thank you for teaching us, for showing us the true meaning of justice, fairness, scholarship, and humility.
Thank you for accomplishing that sacred mission that we call the pursuit of justice.
And thank you for showing us that pursuing justice, regardless of personal or professional consequence, is not only something that we can do, it is something that we must do every single day, as you did.
Face this way. Judge Houvler, You will always be our moral compass, and God willing, we will never lose our way. Our district, our region, and indeed the very meaning of justice has been redefined by your presence, and for that, we cannot thank you enough. On behalf of the lawyers of Miami-Dade County, we humbly present you with this Lifetime Achievement Award and thank you for your gifts to this community. We're very humbly presenting it because we don't have it. 1 second.
Thank you for being here. I would not want to think that you have not been appreciative of this fine program. And for myself, and for each one of us who saw and heard this fine program. I want to thank you all for this program. They advised me that it's quite late. So with that, I thank you all for being here. And that's all I had to say.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a show unlike any others there. So have we fulfilled our promise to give you a bar event unlike any other? But of course, there has to be one final surprise. So to introduce our finale, I'd like to welcome to the stage someone who spent more than an entire week reaching out to every federal, state, and appellate judge in Miami here tonight. She's one of the best and brightest rising stars in the plaintiff's bar. And above all, she's continued to push the bar higher at the Dade County Bar Association with her wonderful programming. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the director for this evening's show and a member of Colson and Hicks, Miss Natalie Rico.
Thank you, Jordan, very, very much. In one of English literature's greatest works, The Tempest, William Shakespeare penned the phrase, "What is past is prologue." For 98 years, the men and women who have volunteered their services to the Dade County Bar Association as its presidents have done so with a shared sense of civic responsibility and a dedication to leadership in our legal community. Due largely in part to their leadership, we have made huge strides and sweeping changes over the years. As a daughter of 2 Cuban immigrants, I am very proud of the diversification and the advancement of this bar association, and I look forward to its future growth. We are abundantly grateful to all of our past presidents for the work and the human capital that they have so selflessly provided. Please join me as we take a moment to remember.
County Bar Association is successful for one reason, really. Through the years, we have had the good fortune of having great presidents of the Dade County Bar Association. And standing before us are people who represent the highest tradition of what it is to be a lawyer, to give back to the community and do the right thing. The Dade County Bar past presidents.
Well, there is one last performance that we want to thank here tonight, and that, of course, is our featured entertainers, both Judge Rothenberg as well as the Gulliver Sundancers. So, ladies and gentlemen, and for the folks in the booth, roll 25. Who had a good time tonight? Let's go ahead with roll 25. I want to introduce Jerry, the choreographer, who's going to come out, and she is going to personally introduce each one of these dancers to you tonight.
Thank you so much for having us here. I'm Jerry Barreras. I'm the dance director at Gulliver Preparatory, and I'm so honored that the Dade County Bar invited us to be here. And without further ado, Gulliver is a phenomenal school, not only for its academics, but also for its arts. And I'm so proud to be part of their faculty. I have coming on stage, I don't know, I don't see them, but maybe there's Isa Rodriguez or Bianca Beatty. Isa, that would be Gio Angeletto, and this is Bianca Beatty. And coming on stage next is Molly Bachner, Christine Roque, Brooke Bailey, Gabby Telletman, Officer Nati Zunjic, Officer Monique Martinez, Senior Katie Ziegelboom, Senior Madeline Harris, Co-Captain Christy Ruiz, and Captain Morgan Fenari. Jordan, I want to personally thank you for your invitation. Thank you so much.
And of course, do I hear an honorable mention? Well, that concludes Over the Rainbow. We'll see you next year.